how to decrease turnover and improve employee retention. Leaders have been asking the question, how do I attract, engage, and retain talent for decades now? This is not a new question, but the answer might be a little bit different. The workforce of the future is focused on different things. And so in this video, we're going to share what matters to employees today, what makes them stay within one organization, and what you can do to create a culture that fosters retention within the organization. Employee turnover is incredibly expensive for any organization. According to Gallup, turnover costs US businesses $1 trillion every year. And so great leaders know that keeping your employees engaged and retained in the organization is going to do a lot to drive productivity, because when you lose an employee, not only do you have to rehire that employee, but you have to retrain that new employee, and you lose a significant amount of knowledge that the leaving employee had. Especially these days with the Great Resignation, retention is a top concern not only for HR leaders, but for all executives. According to SHRM, in 2021, 48 million employees left their jobs, and they cited a number of reasons for doing so. The primary reason reported for leaving those roles was usually a toxic culture, and there were other cultural dynamics that were reported as well. Not feeling fulfilled at work, not feeling listened to by your manager, and even a lack of flexibility at work. There were other reasons listed too, such as childcare issues and compensation, but you might be surprised to learn that compensation was not even in the top 3 reasons that employees left their job. So culture is important now more than it ever has been. In fact, a Robert Half study says that 35% of employees would give up the perfect job if it wasn't a right culture fit for them. That's not just a good job, not just a job, it's the perfect job, which means that we cannot win the war for talent anymore by paying people more money or giving them better perks. We've got to be laser focused on what culture is and how to foster a culture that fulfills employees and attracts talent in order to keep ahead of the game. So what is culture? Culture is the experiences we have which shape our beliefs. Those beliefs lead to our actions, and that gets results. Culture is the way that you get results in a nutshell. And every organization has a culture. You're gonna have a culture whether you're working on it or not, whether you're paying attention or not. But most organizations who don't understand culture have an accidental culture. It's not one that drives results. The purpose of this channel is to unleash the power of culture, to inspire businesses and people to reach their full potential. If that purpose speaks to you, then click subscribe and join the community of people who are passionate about workplace culture. Now, you may be surprised to hear that people don't want to leave their job. By default, leaving a job and moving to another role can be one of the most stressful events in a person's life. In fact, changing your job is listed as one of the top 5 most stressful events that someone can experience in their life. So it stands to reason that keeping your employees should be a little bit easier for the leader. The key is culture. Work that brings us meaning feels like more than just a job. It feels like a vocation. Vocation comes from the Latin word vocatio, which is your calling. So when you're in a job that feels meaningful, one that motivates you, in which you feel fulfilled, you feel like you have found your calling. That should be the goal of any organization, is to make all of their employees feel like they've found their calling. And how do you find your calling? You find your purpose. Connecting employees to purpose is one of the most profound ways that we can create fulfillment. First, the organization needs to understand their purpose. Why does the organization exist? In the past, this has often been called the mission statement. What is the organization's mission? And it's important to note that the mission does not include making money or being number one. That's why business exists generally. But a strong purpose, a strong mission, expresses why this particular organization exists and what its contributions are to the world. Essentially, you're answering the question, how is this organization making the world a better place? When the organization's leaders are crystal clear on that, they can communicate that to employees and help employees find meaning in the work that they're doing. That's at an organizational level. Employees also have to find their own purpose. Once you've connected with purpose, you can then connect to the goals that we're trying to achieve. The strategic goals of any organization organization need to be meaningful, they need to be measurable, and they need to be memorable, most importantly. And when every employee understands what results we're trying to achieve, that alone can improve culture strength by 44%, according to our own research. So we've covered a couple ways in which you can decrease turnover and increase employee retention. It's helping employees connect with purpose and making sure that they're clear on the organization's goals. The third thing that you can do is create an intentional workplace culture in which all managers and employees take responsibility for co-creating experiences which reinforce the cultural beliefs that will help drive results. Because when we all have the same cultural beliefs, we take action that are aligned with those key results. And achieving results is one of the ways in which we can feel fulfilled at an organizational level. It's exciting to be a part of the winning team. And so clarity of results and a connection to those results will get you there. If that speaks to you and you're interested in learning more about culture, then I have a free gift for you. It's a how-to guide that not only contains our research about culture, but a step-by-step guide that you can use to activate culture right away. So if you're interested in getting that free resource, then go ahead and click the link below in the description, or you can go to gift.culture.io.